Hey there, friends. Welcome to my channel, Joy to the World. I am Melissa Joy, and we're going to have a little chat. So as you see, I'm in my backyard today. We had some heavy rains this morning, and they said just hold up, get some things done around the house, and then have a little meeting with our friends in the backyard. So as I was going about cooking my breakfast and doing other things, it started to come in, and when it did, it was like running into a plate glass window that you did not know was there. I was like, what the heck is that? And they talked about familiars. Yes. First and foremost, let's stop there. Someone pack your bags. It is time to go. That woke me in the middle of the night. And I was very clear, and I'm like, what is going on here? I didn't know, was it for me? What are you talking about? They kept going, a reading. And I was thinking, was it in a reading I had? Do I need to pack my bags? What is it? But when I woke this morning, it was very clear that it's for someone specific out there, okay? So I wish you well for whatever it is. It could be fun. It could be hullabaloo. I don't know. But time to go. So anyways, back to the message. I'm in there making my breakfast, and they started to show me the law of familiars. And I'm like, well, what is this? And they talked about it's the thing that most commonly destroys legacies, which even if you've made progress, you've grown forward spiritually, you're still seeing this like errant fruit showing up in your life, maybe through your children or through your family members or maybe at work or whatever else. And you're like, what the heck is this? Like some people have it easy with manifestation or whatever else. And you might be going, I don't know what went wrong. I did not put that ingredient in my recipe. Well, this is where it's coming from. Okay. So they wanted me to show you with a couple of cards, and then some other ones came out. I had the hair in my mouth. Came out with it. And this is very much Six of Cups energy. All right, family line, family lineage. It can be more than just family, but the root word of familiars has the same root word as family. But if you look at what's at the end of the word, we see liars, okay? Those are those things that go from something that is to be nurturing and for the common good, for the well-being, the lifting one up when they fall, and then encouraging of each other, pouring your perspective and insight lovingly into others. That's like, well, like my great aunt. She would pull me into her lap and say, tell me all about it. And I would see her for a couple of hours a year. So 365 days worth of stuff would come flooding out and tears everywhere. Because I've, experienced so much as a young child when all of your senses are at full height, right? But before I knew it, it would convert into laughter. She gave me safe space to be heard and to be fully who I was, how I experienced it. She validated me. So it's those type of things coming on in, and we've been shortchanged. Society's framework has really shifted away. It not just fractured the family, it disseminated the extended family, where now we tend to pick up a lot of family. And family can be us sometimes filling the gaps in the bag of what we think we need. And then it can get way off course and we don't necessarily know, but it can be family, it could be lovers, it could be whatever else, because Six of Cups means, ooh, love, cup of love coming on in, things are taking a turn, but for some people it could take a turn for the worst. And if that's you, it's in here. If not, it's principles of wisdom coming on through. But destroying your legacy, because it's like it creates a mutant seed, kind of like the Alien movies, if you think about that. When you've had contact with someone who doesn't allow your place to be in it, we can talk about it being one-way streets or the Empress Narcissist syndrome, those type of things going on. Man or woman. Empress doesn't mean that the female is the one and the narcissist is the male. I'm just saying Empress energy, okay? The one who's vibrant, living, and highly productive, okay? So I hope that comes across there. But our legacy, meaning our seed, what is coming forth from us. If you plant certain melons and things in the same area, when the bees go to pollinate them, it can alter what the next generation is, which you might not see it this year, but say you gather your own seeds. So you're like, I already have the seed. Why not save some for myself? And the next year you're like, what is this? or else it's not as savory as it could be. Like it's not as juicy or pungent or spicy or whatever your peppers. Like I would get these rogue peppers because my jalapenos and my bell peppers were near each other. And so I would get these bland jalapenos, or else I would get these just off color bell peppers with certain bites of it being spicy. It was so weird. So it was talking about having inconsistency in your life. And inconsistency can really play tricks on your mind. It's like that buggery that I'm talking about. It's like, what is coming up in here fugging with my mind? Does that sound like you? Okay. But that's what it's talking about. The people that you hang around with, that you spend time with, maybe even people that you follow on Instagram or YouTube that you listen to frequently, sometimes their seed can start to take off in you in ways that you didn't intend or plan, or maybe your ship has started to turn and you need to make those turns with it, because they're showing the evidence of needing to cleanse and clear out. Cleanse and clear out. Spend time with yourself first. Get in tune with who you are. Take time to reflect on you, not to judge you, not to critique you, not to mull it over, not to continue to slice and dice, that type of thing. They're like, be with yourself, feed yourself, nourish yourself, and nurture yourself. And at the end of the day, reflect on that. And sometimes in those moments of reflection, you begin to realize that, wait, when I start feeling really energetic, I call these people, or I do these things, or I put my energy here, there, and wherever. And you start thinking, what is that coming from? Because we're moving into this whole full-on Aquarian plasmatic age, and it's like, what is this all about? And they're getting into the nitty-gritty, because it's really activating the Chiron progression that's going on through Aries of knowing yourself. No more being able to abide the old constructs of convenience, needing to get into doing the necessary, addressing the necessary, consciously embracing the necessary. No more sweeping it under, painting a turd, tucking it away for later, that type of thing. It will literally jump out at you. Like I would show y'all. I got the, how do I do it? Let me see. Can you see that thing on my leg? Anyways, this shoe rack jumped out at me twice, and I'm like, okay, it is gone. I moved it downstairs, and it is my ex-husband's shoe rack, and I was neither here nor there about it. And it was one that had been used. And I thought, well, this will work down here. And Spirit's like, get it out of there. Because those familiar things bring up the familiar energies associated with it. Unconsciously, subconsciously, consciously. But I'm not telling you it's just things and just stuff associated with other people. Sometimes there are good memories that you need to let go and move on from, like shirts that you're like, oh, that's my favorite piece of clothing. I wear it anytime that we go here, we go there. And then you look closer at it and you start realizing how ratty it is. And I'll be like, no, it's just a couple of years old. And then I'll travel back in my math and I'm like, it's 8 years of me wearing that at least a couple of times. I'm like, girl, let it go. And I'm like, you're right. It's shabby and it ain't chic. So you just move it on out of there, because your soul is wanting to press into this blank slate, this clean canvas. There's something new on the horizon. It has a new palette to go with it. So I've heard designers talk about when you move to a new home, you're pretty much going to get new furniture. Even if you bring the old stuff and you try and make it fit, generally when people move, they're moving into a different style, a different format, a different fit. And what worked, what fit for your previous Genesis will not travel forward in this new one. And you'll work it, but it will work you. So that's what they talk about with these familiars. Let me see, was there anything else that they were saying? Let's see. Yeah. So I can talk about this habituation, or their habituation, or maybe abiding difficult energies, say it was with people, interpersonal relationships of any sort. That habituation can not only hang around you and be on you, but it can also go in you. All right. Being someone who's always been very active, that's how I keep my health. 21-year survivor of a traumatic brain injury. Your body wants to degrade and decay and to move into the form of the distortion. So living and continuing to have creative and abounding experiences mentally and physical expressions of moving about helps your body keep calculating and trying to take in new information, which can be the neuroplasticity that they talk about. It's just saying keep it real, keeping it young, keeping it fresh. Okay, keep you from tripping over your own feet. There are very serious reasons as to why I kept doing it. But in the partnership I was in, double Saturn, oh my God, energy up in there was one that wanted to sit, to squat, to stay, to punish if you did anything that suited you. And so in order to conserve and preserve, I just shrank back and I shrank back and became quite ill. If you've been around for a while, I went through cancer. I've gone through 3.5 months of severe vertigo that the doctors couldn't ever diagnose. They're like, we don't know what's going on there. And then it led into all these crazy kidney issues. And I'm like calling out Spirit, like, what is going on? Spirit's like, this is not your life. This is not your energy. This thing is sucking the life out of you and depleting you, okay? So what we're talking about, the familiars, is that habituation of how I had to self-preserve in order to get along through this. And you'd be like, why didn't you stand up for this, that, whatever? If you knew what price I paid to stand up for this, that, whatever, then you'd be like, oh, okay. It was something I had to travel through to get to us. Now, you, me, Joy of the World, the channel, that's why I am back. There's nothing squatting and cutting off the gateway that I can connect with the world around me, connect with life, like the breeze blowing in my hair. Life is like, girl, I don't need you sitting up in the house all the time trying to record out videos. Let's get outside, let's get into nature, and let's get people back into their nature, their human nature, their natural self, their true self, not the one that was convoluted and had to squeeze into here or fit into that or chop this off or sell that out or hide this, that type of thing. So that's what they're talking about with the familiars. Shed it out, clear out the lies. All right, fam? Those things that you know you should, but you don't, or the things you know you shouldn't, but you do. That's an easy way. Like, you don't have to attack it with your mind with this consciousness era or, like the therapy paradigm of how that works. I'm not talking about if you were in therapy. I'm talking about if you're trying to therapize yourself. I'm saying sometimes just invite yourself to speak to you and say, what is this about the familiars? Show me where I am doing those things that I know I shouldn't and not doing the things that I know I should. If we already begin with where that knowing is, where that connection is, it will unscramble the lines and trust will begin to flow. And you'll begin to see, oh, wait, life does love me. Life is on my side. Where's the serendipitous action coming from? From you, friend. From the invitation for this wisdom to show up for you. Just asking to see it is a form of receptivity. Like, otherwise we could sit in meditation for years going, I'm practicing being receptive. I'm practicing. Y'all, it's about being practical here. And those things never worked for me. Didn't matter how many years, how many hours, how many silent, how many journals, how many whatever. It was like things kept come bugging up. That's why I am here. And they're asking me to share my experiences with you. So it's as simple as that. I just proposed the question to myself, and like an email, a few hours, few days, few whatever, it shows up, somehow it starts to catch my ear, catch my mind, catch my attention, catch my heart, and like a little finger, a little tap, a little snag, like, hey, and you're like, whoa. But because you invite it in, it's coming in your voice, and it doesn't seem to just pop up out of nowhere, and you know it's in response to something. It's in response to this benevolence. It's in response to life-giving energy. That's a great thing to do for yourself, friend. Let me say there were a couple other things over here, but because what they were showing is your ability to prosper. Shang dang doodle has been held up by the company that you keep. All right, just making peace with your wound does not do anything but just appease it, okay? We're here to clear it out. See all that library of information. If you knew how much record your mind holds on these situations or these relationships or that job, or maybe even the conditioning pattern that you've behaved in from the way you grew up. All right, they're talking about clear it out. And the way I found to clear it out is those questions, okay? Because that has left you sleepless nights, and this is like no rest, no coming into yourself. That's the satisfaction and fulfillment, because you're continuing to live a lie. Because if it's not the whole truth, it's not true. Okay? And we're talking about your truth, that thing that is true to who you are. Your spirit will weep, look at that, and moan and wonder why all this is coming to mess with your mind. And there they're sending in this band of wisdom and this ray of light to sweep in and to refresh you so that you don't have to keep trying harder and trying to figure out what you've done wrong. It's just that seed, that mixing of energies that isn't true to who you are. That's why we talk about being in the center of yourself here. All right? And then you don't have to sit around wasting any more time, any more of your energy trying to be happy with a puddle. When you drink, you're like, I want the whole ocean, the whole Mediterranean Sea. I want the whole fountain of life. Yes, friend, I vote for you. Because the thing is, this is positioned here for you to take hold of. This is an old abiding energy sitting here, because this King of Pentacles, although in other applications he might be jolly, serene, whatever, he's very emperor and not looking at you. Okay? So this is something that doesn't mind y'all, but they don't care about your business. This energy, this person, this job, this place, whatever, that thing that is working you. Slicing and dicing Ginsu. That is what we were talking about here. Okay? They don't mind you. All right? And that's why it has worked you so hard. So I pray like Mary Poppins, the winds of change come on in, some Nanny McPhee, and begin to sweep all the blessings your way, all the realignment your way. It might ruffle your feathers for a minute, but dare I say, friend, those might not be your feathers. And the reason they're ruffling them is to get them off of you. Okay? And feathers can be attached from the inside, so they're also getting them out of you. Why? Because they're cluttering up and taking space of where your beauty and delight springs forth from. Okay, so if this helps, you let me know. Leave me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, or leave some comments or emojis down below. All right, I wish you well. Bye. Oh, and happy travels to the one who's packing their bags.